Talk to us a little bit about budget and the casting process and locations and all that.
As a student film, you get away with a lot of deals and stuff like that. But I'm sure, as Roozbeh will say as well, that it always ends up costing way more.
A lot more.
But you know, it's a story that was very meaningful, and we were able to inspire people with the meaning of it, and so we were able to get a lot of goodwill helping us. And then casting was actually a very challenging process. Originally, I wanted to shoot the whole thing in Kuwait, and we realized that there would not be enough money really, because I would have had to spend a long time to cast there and all that. But doing it in Arabic here proved to be impossible because I wanted to get proper Kuwaiti accents. And then even when the decision was made to do it in English, it was nearly impossible to find the right cast, and I was like a couple of days away from just pulling the plug on it and trying to find another story and saving this for later. And then the main guy, Michael Benyer, actually somehow found out about us, contacted one of my producers via Facebook, and said, "Hey, I heard about this film, you know," and he'd been in a bunch of Hollywood pictures, and he said, "I'm tired of playing a terrorist, I want to play a hero." So he auditioned, he was perfect. The guy that played his nephew was a good friend of his, who came on board for the same reasons. You know, that guy was in Munich and a bunch of other big films, but he's like, "I don't want to play a terrorist anymore." Ridley
Scott somehow got involved in this film. Could you tell our audience what?
He's my favorite director of all time. So USC encourages us to try to get industry mentors, and I wrote a letter to Ridley and said, you know, you'd be absolutely perfect for this project. Here are the reasons why. Would you consider having a look at it? Then I got an email back from his assistant saying, send us your script, and then we stayed in touch.
Talk to us about the casting process. You know, you obviously cast some really good actors, you know, that carried the film really, really well. And also the fact that you told me before that that your film cost you quite a bit for a student film. It's quite, you know, it's $50,000, right?
Yes, that's the number that I said. Fawaz didn't say. And to be honest, I mean, the student movie, whatever. I mean, that's all the movies that I know of that have gone to SC. I mean, they'll cost usually at least 35, and some will go as high as even 100 or even more. Really, it was probably a dumb idea to try to make this film as a student movie, and probably like Fawaz with his, a number of times I got to the point where I was just going to scrap the thing. Like my father was like, why don't you just film it in Iran? And I'm like, I don't think I can film it in Iran because it's political. And he was like, no, you film it in Iran. And I'm like, no, I don't do that. You film it in Iran, go to jail, you become a man. And I'm like, I don't think I'm not going to do that.
I just want to open the questions for the audience now, please. Yes.
I wanted to ask, I noticed in the film after that, don't you film something here?
Yes, the location with the car, where most of the movie takes place, is just on the south side of this area.
The makeup question, was that the nose was the natural, or was it makeup?
It was real.
It was real?
Yeah. No, it was a prosthetic. It's a prosthetic. So, yeah. No, it was a prosthetic.
What was the reason for having that?
Well, you know, in the real character, the real life, he was known for having a big nose, and I mean, even like in the state, when you read like the historical archives, I mean, Dean Acheson, who was Department of State of the U.S. at the time, were describing him as an ostrich. I mean, he was like the way that he looked, his gait, his face was considered legendary. So, you know, we tried to match that.
What kind of feedback did you get from Ridley Scott? Get smoke machines.
No, the first cut I sent was just, he named a couple of things that he liked the performances and stuff like that, and he said, you know, keep moving forward. The second cut I sent was closer to being finished, and he had two very stylistic notes. One was music and the other was font. He said that the font needed to look a lot more Arabic, to have a bit more styling to it, and that the music needed to be bigger. And then, what's that?
You got really big music.
Yeah, yeah. Leah Curtis, my composer, has become my composer for life. I mean, I've worked with her on a couple of projects since then. She's incredible, and that score actually won her a whole bunch of awards. So yeah, and then we got also Elizabeth Scott as a vocalist, who was somebody who'd done the Narnia series and Munich and a whole bunch of. She does a whole bunch of films, and we thought we'd ask, and she said yes.
So if she's your John Williams, what does that make you?
I don't know yet. We'll find out together. But yeah, and then I sent him the final cut, and he said it was good.
Thank you very, very much. The Irvine International Film Festival will take place January 17th to the 21st. And once again, thank you to all. See you next time.